this has turned out to be. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of all the action here in Singapore.
We have made it to Singapore. It is very hot and humid and we're going to do some exploring. So today, right now, we are at Gardens by the Bay and I'm going to show you around. Wow. I'm a bit scared of heights. Look at the view there. That is Marina Bay Sands behind us, which is iconic for Singapore and will be the backdrop for this weekend's event. Touristing is hungry work, so we've come to a local Singapore food market and we're going to try some of the local delicacies. We are here on the 57th floor of Marina Bay Sands, which is going to be the backdrop to this weekend's race for the Arena Games Triathlon Singapore. As you can see, the view is absolutely incredible. I imagine it is the best in the city, and the athletes are just getting to experience one of the must-see things to do in Singapore. What's it like swimming at the top of Marina Bay Sands?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very cool. It's I wasn't sure what was over the edge, but there's a bit of a safety ledge there. So.
Oh, is there?
We're
That's
fine.
The answer.
Yeah,
we're all.
It's quite romantic, and I think we've kind of ruined it for a few couples.
We are behind the scenes with Will McCloy in the flesh for the first time, well, ever for me, but the first time for Super League in like, what, 2.5 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Long, horrible
3,
years.
wow. How do you feel being here in person?
Sweaty. I feel sweaty. I feel extremely hot, and I'm glad I'm not actually competing because it's going to be hot out there. And hang on, let's just check the water. Oh yeah. Yep, it's like a bath. It's like a bath. So I'm really happy to be here in person. There's always people I've only seen on Zoom calls for so long, and I'm happy not to be in a small, dark space with Macca, which I have been in for 3 years, so it'd be nice to be here and see it for real.
And what do you think about our new partnership with World Triathlon, and how do you think it shapes the Arena Games?
Isn't it just insane that 3 or 2.5 years ago we were like, what do we do during COVID? And then we came up with this concept that nobody knew whether it would work or not, and then 2 years later it's a world championship. What it does is give athletes that you don't see necessarily have potentially awesome results, a new pathway to become a world champion, and the hook up with World Triathlon really legitimizes that. It's brought a real legitimacy to this concept, and it'll see it just grow and grow, and it also democratizes things. So you get athletes that are being put forward by their federations. It's not just who we choose, it's who the federations put forward, and I just think it just makes it legit.
We are currently behind the scenes of familiarisation, and our first athlete is about to jump into the water behind us. It is super hot, so I'm rather jealous that he's getting in the water. We genuinely have to be in a motorboat to keep up with Aurelian in his swim. He is a favourite this weekend after winning in Munich for the fast race of the series. And we've also got our London winner Justus here. So really, anything could happen, because we've also got our Championship Series winner Alex Yee, and there's Martin Van Rail, who is a 70.3 world record holder at the minute. So we have got a very strong field from the men's. I'm very curious to see what will happen. So I am here with the head coach from the Leeds Triathlon Centre, and you've got a lot of athletes racing today.
Yeah.
How did you prep the athletes for an event like this? What is the kind of race strategy that you've given them all to go into tomorrow with?
Yeah, so a lot of them have raced the last couple of races, so they've got a good idea on what it's going to take and the intensity required within the first couple of heats. So what preparation looks like if they haven't done any of that will be some swim to bikes on poolside, maybe some hard bike to runs. Some will have practiced on the curved treadmills as well and done some short, sharp, intense work, whilst also kind of using the big aerobic work that they've got off the back of a winter, but really trying to sharpen that up ahead of coming here. And then now it's just acclimatising, getting over the jet lag. Most people got in yesterday, so have had a night's sleep, seem to have slept pretty well, which is great. But yeah, really now it's just about relaxing and just kind of fine-tuning everything.
We're here in familiarisation with Dan Dickson, who has raced with us as a youth, and so it's his first race in Super League as a senior athlete, and it's also your first Arena Games. So how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I've been watching the series when I've been away, and yeah, I just can't wait to get into it. Like, there's some awesome guys here, so it's going to be fun and a new format as well.
How's your training been going? Have you been doing some Arena Games specific?
Yeah, I've tried to do my best. Like, I've been doing some stuff on Zwift the last couple of weeks. The curved treadmills abroad in America are totally different to these, and yeah, when I first jumped on one of them, I thought, oh, I'm not sure I can do Super League. They were just so hard, but yeah, I'm thankful that these are a little bit easier. But yeah, we've been trying to do some specific stuff, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. Like, I'm in good shape and just enjoying it all at the minute.
So I'm here with Darren, who is our head photographer for our event and pretty much all our events. What's it like been flying around the world for this? And obviously all the locations have been so different. So what has it been like photographing them all?
Yeah, it is challenging actually. You know, when you're shooting a live event, which is not indoor arena event, you've obviously got a lot of scenery changing every second. Everything's different. Whereas here, you've got to be a lot more creative, and I think it helps being here for 3 or 4 days beforehand, because I begin to see angles, and then I kind of go back to the hotel and sleep on it a little bit and try and be much more creative in this environment than I would where I don't even have to think about it in another event where you've not got a contained positioning. But here it's a lot easier from a point of view of I'm not running around so much because I've got everybody in one place. But I've also got to be aware of production, which I've come under critique a little bit in the past. It's not the Darren show. But yeah, it's just about being a little bit more creative and have more time to think about options that I've got.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge to like bob under the I have that for doing social, to get out the way of the camera so we're not on broadcast.
Yep, I'll agree.
It is currently Friday and it is the first day of racing. Today the athletes have got the heats to qualify for the final tomorrow. Those that don't qualify through today's heats have to go into a repecharge and race again. Now it is absolutely boiling. If the sweat's not giving it away, it is going to be a seriously tough day of racing. So good luck to all our athletes. As you can see, we've got Jess behind me, who is about 30 seconds ahead on the fast heat of the day. So she is definitely going through to the finals. You can't say that, somebody could overtake, but I'm betting money on Jess is definitely through to the finals. It's quite an impressive lead. I don't think anyone's making up 30 seconds over such a short biking run. First of all, Tim, congrats on just completing the Arena Games Triathlon. Talk to us about how you got here.
Well, it was a little bit of luck, you know, being at the right place at the right time. I've been based in Singapore for 12 years now, and I love triathlon. I do mostly 70.3 and long distance, so this is really different from what I usually do. I'm also a lot older than all these guys here because I'm 42, so of course short distance is not really my forte, but I really enjoyed it. It was super painful and such a unique setting here. So for me, for an amateur, a normal athlete like me, it's a dream to be able to race with these guys. You know, for me, it's all about trying to juggle everything in my life. I have 2 kids who are really my priority. I run a large shipping company, so that's also my priority. So I try to fit in training anywhere I can when between traveling and meetings and so on. So yeah, again, it's been a bit of a challenge to get here in good shape, but it was truly amazing.
that is it for the first day of racing. We had the heats today. What an incredible day of racing. It was the longest, hottest day, I think, of my life. So God knows how the athletes feel, because I'm struggling. Very sweaty mess over here, but it was absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited to see what happens in the next set of races tomorrow for the athletes that didn't make it through. There's obviously going to be a fight to the finals. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. It is Saturday, it is the day of the finals, but first we've got the repechage, which is happening behind me as we speak. So the first 6 athletes who to finish this race make it through to the finals, so they are going to be racing twice today. So we're going to chat to them, see how they feel about racing twice and how they plan to recover those that make it through in the short window they've got to the finals this afternoon. How are you feeling? How's everything gone so far? And what have the challenges been at Singapore?
I'm very warm, and that's the main challenge. It's seriously as simple as that. Whether it is the athletes who suffer with the heat, whether it's the technology that suffers with the heat, whether it's our entire schedule that suffers with the heat because it is so warm, athletes are slower, understandably. The heat is the main challenge here. Other than that, it is a very different setup. Obviously, we're outdoors compared to Munich and London, but that's not really the challenge. I think we've got a great setup here. It works really well. I mean, the scenery, you can't get it any better than that. It's the heat.
The heat. All right, perfect, thank you.
On your mark!
We are here about 20 minutes before the race starts. I'm here with Maka. What are your predictions for the weekend?
Well, it's going to be hot, very, very hot. We've seen that in the heats. You know, on the women's race, it's going to be very, very hard to beat Jess. The open water swim, I think, really suits her style, and she's out so fast, but all the Brits have been remarkable. George is always great. Sian was really, really good in the heats. Beth, I always worry about Beth swimming these open waters, but she showed in the heats that she's ready to rock and roll. So on the men's side, I'm going to go with the Frenchman, Rolly and Raphael, to win this thing. I think I was really bummed for him in London. I think he loves the open water swim. He seems in a really good headspace. Alex Yee to pip Nischlag with Hayden Wildful.
Coming to MC, 3, 2, 1, go.
Who will lead here, the very first Triathlon Esports World Champions?
Honestly, I fight and it started to niggle a bit. I thought, oh, I'm limping a bit, and then I thought, I can't be weight on it. Because this is what we're in Munich, you know, like this. So it's been going on since March, but it's just got way worse. Literally, as soon as I landed, it just got bad. Oh dear. It went quick, didn't it? It went from limping to, and I was like,
well, you went from like winning
go.
this.
Yeah. I didn't even have far to go, did I? Did I even finish it?
I don't think you finished it, but you're so close. Like,
I mean, I could have done, but then because then you were like, oh, you can start the next one if you want. And I'm like, can I? And then I went to go on it and I was like, I can't do it.
Never doing this again. Mark my word.
The heavens have opened, we are on to the men's race and the weather is not being very forgiving. First we had the heat, now we've got the rain showers and it has been a very dramatic race so far, so let's see what happens in the men's.
Yo, what's up?
Hayden Wild went into the pursuit start with 3 seconds ahead of Alex Yee. Can Alex Yee do what he needs to do to become the first ever esports triathlon world champion?
Hayden on the bike, he could be a pro rider. Like, he put in like 5 seconds in like 1K. I'd love to see that power file.
We have had everything from the craziest, hottest, most humid weather I've ever seen to an absolute downpour that had us all absolutely drenched and worrying that the swim may end up cancelled. But thankfully we got through it despite all the different weather changes, and we have just crowned our first ever Arena Games Triathlon World Championship titles to Beth Potter and Alex Yee. That is another one under Alex's belt after being our Championship Series winner in 2021, and I'm so excited to see what happens for 2022.
Yeah, I mean that was tough. It was just the last bit. I just was in a bit of a wall of pain, but I just kept going, and it's a shame that Jess filled up and stuff. But I think
This is the closest I can find.
we've got Kate for the world champion. That is what she needs right now.